So the COVID narrative is crumbling, and it's crumbling because I know it's crumbling because it's happening on establishment media. So we've showed you Bill Maher has talked about bodily autonomy and how stupid the science is and how crazy people on the left and who vote for Joe Biden, the crazy ideas they have about COVID, and they're all wrong. Like that if you get sick, you're 50% chance of going to the hospital. No, you have less than a 1% chance, according to Gallup, of going to the hospital if you get COVID. And that's including if you're obese or elderly or if that's everybody. So they don't know what they're talking about. And now here's Bari Weiss. We have famously made fun of her. Our highest rated video, our highest viewed video is making fun of her because she said she was just repeating talking points about Tulsi Gabbard and she didn't know what she was talking about. She's I'm sure she's pro-imperialism. And so when Tulsi Gabbard was pushing back against the Syria war, she was saying all kind of horrible shit. So we did a video about it, over 5 million views. Now we're suppressed by YouTube, so that can never happen again. But here she is. Now she gets it right, just like Bill Maher. So again, there are no permanent allies. There are no permanent enemies. I think there are only permanent interests. I think I heard someone say that once. So here's what she says.
I'm done.
With this question?
No, I'm done with COVID. I'm done. It's like I went so hard on COVID. I
remember.
sprayed the Pringles cans that I bought at the grocery store, stripped my clothes off because I thought COVID would be on my clothes. Like, I did it all. I watched Tiger King. I got to the end of Spotify. Like, we all did it, right? And
no, we did not do it.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of us did do it. And then we were told, you get the vaccine. You get the vaccine and you get back to normal. And we haven't gotten back to normal. And it's ridiculous at this point. I know that so many of my liberal and progressive friends are with me on this, and they do not want to say it out loud because they are scared to be called anti-vax or to be called science denial or to be, smeared as a Trumper. I'm sorry, if you believe the science, you will look at the data that we did not have 2 years ago, and you will find out that cloth masks do not do anything. You will realize that you can show your vaccine passport at a restaurant and still be asymptomatic and carrying Omicron. And you will realize, most importantly, that this is going to be remembered by the younger generation as a catastrophic moral crime. The city of Flint, Michigan, which is 80%, I think, minority students, has just announced indefinite virtual schooling. In the past 2 years, we've seen among young girls a 51% increase in self-harm. People are killing themselves. They are anxious. They are depressed. They are lonely. That is why we need to end it more than any inconvenience that it's been to the rest of us. I think it's like at this point, it's a pandemic of bureaucracy. It's a pandemic of bureaucracy. It's not real anymore.
Let's not forget.
So that's being said on HBO, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you could quibble with what she said about cloth masks, I guess, that they provide some protection. But they tell you don't use cloth mask. They won't let you wear a cloth mask on an airplane because it doesn't provide enough protection at all. So people walking around with their cloth masks, they're nothing but people. You see people with the kerchiefs. That's just a virtue signal. They don't do anything. That's just a bullshit virtue signal. Of course, if you're wearing that, you don't know the science. Of course, you think people like me are anti-vax. Of course, you're going to fucking repeat propaganda and you don't have one goddamn critique. The only critique people like that have is that the government isn't locking shit down hard enough. They have it completely back. Their critiques of the government during COVID are completely fucked up and backwards. So here someone says, future generations will look as mask mandates as a moral crime. Laugh my ass off. Really? Yeah, like those oppressive polio shots this generation got when they were children. Okay, again, these people don't know the science. This vaccine is nothing like a polio vaccine. Hey, you get the polio vaccine, you don't get polio. And you don't spread polio. You get this vaccine, you're going to get fucking COVID. Likely no matter how many boosters or vaccines you get. So those are not the same. And people have been led to think these are the same. And so this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, but he's loud about it. And neither does this guy. Putting masks on kids is ridiculous, and it harms the kids' development that you'll never get back. So,
but you don't have kids. How can you say that?
Thanks for being Ron, Daryl Canfield, and 901 River City. Anything you'd like to say, Kurt?
I was going to say, maybe he was laughing because this young generation will look back on, like Chappelle as a great moral crime. So it's like an understatement.
Yeah.
That this one.
We added a second show, January 26th in Raleigh, and we're going to be in Philadelphia on February 20th. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all our tickets. And while you're there, become a premium member. Get access to all our premium videos.